It's football time in Houston. And we're ready to play. Guys, a lot on the table in Sunday's Texans-Dolphins game at NRG Stadium. The Texans are favorites in this game. The Texans are favored by 3. You know what that means? Pick the Dolphins to cover the spread. But a lot on the line, because if the Houston Texans win and if the Indianapolis Colts lose, guess what? It's AFC South Championship time in Houston. And what do we say about that, Bill O'Brien?
Bill, obviously, it wasn't the prettiest of games.
Doesn't matter, Brian.
But
AFC South champions 2 years in a row, Brian.
yeah, but you guys are back in the.
Doesn't matter what it looked like. Back in the playoffs. Looking forward to the playoffs.
Exactly.
Go ahead. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No lie. If D'Amico said that about the sloppy wins, I think I'd feel better about the team. I think I'd feel a little bit better. An us against the world mentality.
It's about execution, DJ. That's what he would say.
Right. You know, there was a lot of positives in the game.
We're never gonna knock being AFC South champion.
Listen, D'Amico Ryans plus 30,000 as NFL Coach of the Year.
I guess they have to put odds on like
I saw a very misleading post, and I thought to myself, read the room, dude, because apparently D'Amico Ryans has the chance to win a second division title in his first 2 seasons, which is something only 6 other NFL coaches have done. And they're like, yeah, look at it. He could be Coach of the Year. No. He has no chance. Do not waste your money on that. There was this report that came out where like 6% of people win on bets. They actually make money off of it because they walk away with the money. I think SMU did this study.
Yeah, it was the SMU study.
Yeah. Don't bet on that. It's a fun bet. Don't do it. They'd have to kill the Chiefs and they'd have to kill the Ravens, and every team in the AFC would have to collapse, and they'd have to get the 1 seed in the AFC at 12-5, which is rather unlikely.
You said it was 30,000
plus 30,000, which is insane. That's a lot.
What was the Chicago White Sox to win the AL Central?
Chicago White Sox are
50,000
plus 50,000 to win the AL Central.
It's slightly more likely than the AL
that's true.
White Sox winning the AL Central.
What's funny about that is every other team in the division, the White Sox, Guardians, the Guardians, Twins, Royals, and Kansas City. Wait, I said Tigers. You're right. Thank you. Sorry. Again, it's like just removed itself from my brain because I'm still traumatized by my dust busting gone wrong. All of those teams are plus 400 or less. White Sox plus 50,000. It's insane. So look, they should win the AFC South. You're playing the Dolphins at home, and the Colts are playing the Broncos on the road. Broncos are 4-point favorites. They got a really good defense. So I think what Joe Mixon said, it's true. Joe Mixon, he thinks the Texans just got to put a bow on this thing and get it done.
Hey, man, let's put the bow on it. Let's put the bow on it. You know, I think these games is critical. It's also crucial that we approach the week 1 week at a time. You know, obviously we got a desperate team of Miami, but they're trying to go to the playoffs and make their run, but we desperate too.
We are desperate too.
We're desperate.
They should be more desperate. I gotta say, it's so annoying, the lack of urgency that comes as a result of being in the AFC South. And I get it. Doesn't matter, Brian, AFC South champions. But when you're in this division, how can you feel urgency, especially coming into the year, thinking your farts smell like the nicest thing in the world, like perfume. Your perfume farts walking in here. Look at us. We're the Houston Texans. Stephon Diggs, Daniil Hunter. Look at Danico Autry. He's suspended. Doesn't matter. He'll be back at the stretch run. Joe Mixon. Oh yeah, we got CJ Stroud and we got Nico Collins and we got Will Anderson and we got Tank Dell coming back. Guess what? Broke his leg, got shot. Can't stop Tank Dell. He's
Doesn't matter, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
AFC South champion, Brian.
Christian Harris eventually, really, look, as in now.
We might see him, yeah.
Jalen Petrie, out for the year.
That sucks.
Kenyon Green, not out for the year.
In a battle splitting snaps with Zach Thomas.
Well.
Zachary Thomas.
Yeah.
Not Dolphins legend Zach Thomas.
Yeah, that's a little concerning because Juice Scruggs is banged up at practice. It would be nice if 50-year-old Zach Thomas, who has a square neck, would come out of retirement and try to play on the offensive line, but that is not happening. So for the Colts side of things, DeForest Buckner, who's probably the Colts' best defender and maybe their most serious player, he believes that Sunday's a playoff game.
So really, not just the young guys; it's everybody. We're like I've been saying it all week. People say we're fighting to get in the playoffs, but we're already in it. This is a playoff game, and from here on out, that's what they are. To get to where we want to be, we got to approach each and every game like it's a playoff game, and it is. It's win or go home essentially, and we can't hope and pray on somebody else. For our fortune, we got to make our own fortune. So it starts on Sunday.
Hell yeah. Professional, right? I do miss Jim Mora, don't you? Whenever you hear the Colts talking about playoffs, he was a fun coach.
It's the same background and behind it, the Colts logos.
Yeah.
In the blue background.
I mean, it's a different building now. It's not the RCA Dome. It's Lucas Oil Field, I'm assuming, is where they practice. But you can't help but think about Jim Mora, who was not a very good coach, but between his time with the Saints and Colts, probably had more one-liners than any coach in NFL history, not just the playoffs one. We couldn't do diddly poo. We couldn't do squat. We might have to bring some Jim Mora back at some point during the show. But you know what's funny? Yesterday on the show, it did seem like CJ Stroud's burnt out, right? A little burnt out. And they have played in a football game every single week since the Pro Football Hall of Fame week, right? Stroud didn't play in the game, but the Texans have had a very long year considering their bye week did not come until week 14. So Stroud said, yeah, I checked out. And honestly, good for him. It's nice to check out from work every now and then. But he does sound burnt out. But I think he's got to be concerned because a man who might have checked out of a game because he was winded, Anthony Richardson, he's learned from the error of his ways. And people are making a big deal about this quote by Anthony Richardson as they play the Broncos. If they win, they're sticking around in the AFC South playoff race. He never stopped prepping for Denver.
The guys told me to take some time off, but it was the next day I hit Coach Shane up. I was like, man, I know it's a bye week, but what you got on Denver? I was trying to get as much information as I could, ahead of the week. So when they did come back and for us to come back here, it was a little easier for me to get back into the routine.
The bar is so low for Anthony Richardson. Like this was being praised.
You texted his coach. What you got? What you got on Denver?
Hey man, let me look at that film. And I gotta say, I mean, while I think Stroud deserved to take a break, I kind of wish Stroud was studying the film in Miami.
Yeah.
You know,
He's too busy podcasting.
Did he have a podcast episode
No,
this
I
week?
don't
I know
know.
his mom did.
I assume that's
His
what
mom
he was
launched a podcast. For those who don't
doing.
know,
Anytime Stroud has free time, I assume he's putting on a headset
or going to communist China, like he did that one time with Micah Parsons.
Did he go to China?
Yeah, they went to China.
Oh.
They were teaching the youths of China how to play football.
Oh yeah, that's.
I don't like that.
I was thinking the sumo wrestling, but that was in
No.
Japan.
Gosh, Sean.
No. I thought you were making a mistake.
I wasn't.
I knew.
Those are two different
I've
countries.
played Ghost of Tsushima. All right, I know what's cracking in Japan.
That's a samurai video game. Well, yeah. Well, I watched Shogun and Tokyo Vice, both seasons. So
I only watch Shogun.
I wear a kimono when I'm home.
That okay?
Nope, just a kimono. That's it.
Yeah.
Free
Okay.
We free downstairs. It's a great way to live.